see you sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to. But I know you try. But I've heard you've been here before. But I won't stay the same. It's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to.
No, the funniest part is you were centered
Before?
for the last half hour.
Yeah.
And then as soon as right before live, you did this. You went,
Well, it's because I got up and now I'm back.
look at you. This is like, what is happening? What is happening?
I fixed it.
Now I fixed it. I showed you where you missed your mark. I need to put a piece of tape.
Why?
It's at the middle of the crack. It's
So I
right
could
there.
just take the tape off.
Oh, you wouldn't do that.
F the rules.
That's kind of how it works.
Too rock star for that nonsense.
I know. It's 4 minutes before live. It's like, I'm going to walk the dog.
Well, otherwise,
I'm going to walk the dog.
she would stomp her feet at
Yeah,
us.
I'm going to walk the dog.
I did walk the dog.
So we're live on a random-ish Thursday at 7, which is not according to any of our scheduling. And
One
so,
day. We'll
you
get
know,
it together.
we'll do the. No, we won't.
We might.
No, we're gonna work towards getting it together,
Okay.
but it never.
That's
There's
fair.
theories on that, right? Like everything's either gravitated towards unity or gravitating towards chaos.
Oh, I like chaos.
I know. So I feel like the Earth and the world and the universe has got some conformity, but I think it really just wants to be chaos.
Yes. You see the mosquito? I saw you look above my head.
No, I was looking at your. Oh my goodness! I was looking at your name on your microphone to see if it was be able to see.
Oh, I can see it.
Because I tried to adjust stuff, but you
Can't see
can't
yours.
see mine. I mean,
Just
I
says
don't.
Scoot,
Scoo.
which is appropriate. All
Uh,
right. Well,
Other than that,
happy Thursday.
oh, we're doing. Now maybe it was on me. I don't know.
Ugh. Now I'm all paranoid.
Did you shut the back door?
Yeah.
Oh,
A long time ago.
all right. Oh, look, what's this say?
It says Sarah.
Sarah Hurst Castle.
Yeah. It's a gift.
When did you go there?
CJ got it for me. That's an issue.
When did we get a cat? When did we go to Hearst Castle?
It's hard to find Scooter on things, so
Oh, that's true.
you don't really get one.
Slunch of that.
Salud.
As you get guitar stuff or Little Mermaid stuff, depending on who's it's coming from.
Yeah.
Or Avengers stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
another
Mariah's more gets me Avengers stuff. Mariah gets me Little Mermaid stuff lately.
one. Yeah. And sleep token.
Wow, that was her latest gift. Yeah.
All right. Well, happy Friday. No, just kidding. It's Thursday. It's
That's a good start. I tried to go live on Instagram.
didn't work.
It worked, but I didn't know because I don't go live on Instagram. What's the point?
Do you want me to go live right now on Instagram?
No, because then that's totally gonna keep this on a non-variant path. It's gonna really keep it on the sacred timeline.
I have a question before we get into anything. Are we gonna on our WhatsApp? Are we gonna talk about why you've been gone for so long?
On
Is
the
that
what's up?
Or is it gonna fill in other places?
Oh, let's do that. Let's do it. Well, I mean, we'll know
Well,
that.
let's do sponsor and then what's up then.
All right, we're we're doing it live, people. I always have a plan. Sarah goes, "What plan? The plan we've had every week." Oh, let's not do that this week. Let's do something completely different.
Just flow here.
I'm flowing.
Go sponsor.
I'm already sweating. No, sponsor. Cool, amazing human. She's came back. Oh, it was end of last month. Came back from
China?
China. Yeah,
How long?
visiting her family.
Yeah.
But Lever Consulting, huge help on some of the projects that we're doing literally right now. She's coming back into the fold on, she doesn't know this yet, but she
Weird
knows,
statement.
but I'm going to ask her for some more help. The help she already offered, but we're working on some train the trainer stuff.
Are you getting off topic?
No.
Okay.
This is Lever Consulting.
Okay.
So when it comes to a Lever Consulting, there's so many things that this company and this person can help you with.
Yes.
Even if it's not on their website, you could probably ask and they'd have a resource of some sort for you.
Yes.
Right? When it comes to teaching, learning, understanding, finances. I mean, they'd know because Lucy is a very resourceful human being. That's what I was getting
Okay.
towards.
Makes sense.
What she's doing with us has nothing to do with Lever Consulting, but it does because it's a support system. So
Right.
we're working on some really cool stuff. Lever Consulting is a huge partner in all of our seed programs. So check them out. They'll give you a free consultation. All you got to do is mention Sarah and Scooter sent you to them.
Don't say it like that. You sound weird. Okay.
Hot and bothered.
Where have we been? Valerie O is asking.
Who's Valerie? Oh,
Oh.
I was talking about.
I know,
was
Valerie.
mentioning
I know it's
Valerie just a
random.
moment,
I
but
apologize. What?
It's not random if you followed on our socials. You
No, it
rang
is.
the bell.
It is.
You talk to us once in a while.
It's a mess.
You weren't so busy.
That's rude. I mean, we're the ones who've been busy.
I know.
So rude.
I know.
So I don't even know where we were at. So 2 weekends ago, the
I
last
mean-
time we were live was the 24th.
It was on a Sunday.
It was on a Sunday. And then why did I think that we did go live the week after everybody left?
Because we didn't.
Oh.
I mean,
why?
you blacked out.
Yeah. Anyways, we didn't. Then the weekend.
Because realistically, though, the week after that was Aftershock.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
That was the 30th. The week after that was Aftershock.
Oh, I don't know what we did.
I know. That's what I was saying. I was like, are you sure we didn't?
No, everything's a blur. Okay.
Anyways, so then we went to Aftershock. And Aftershock is a 4-day rock festival in the friggin' sun.
What did we do the end of last month?
That's what I just said. I don't know.
I mean, you pulled up the calendar. We always
There's
talk
nothing
about
on
it every
it.
week, but that
There's
doesn't mean we
nothing on
didn't
it.
do anything.
Okay, then I didn't put anything on the calendar last. I don't know.
That's kind of why I feel like we're busy.
I don't know
Because
what
you don't put on the
happened.
calendar goes, hey, we're leaving in 15 minutes. To where? To this thing. Is it on the calendar? No.
I mean, there was intentions of putting things on calendars, but it didn't happen. Anyways, I'm pretty sure we did something that weekend. I just don't know what it was. So then we did Aftershock, which
It's
is
hilarious
4
because
days.
we did do something.
I
and I
know.
can't remember what it was.
I know. Then after Aftershock, because I don't know if you guys know this, Aftershock is like what 60,000 people or something psychotic.
I think it's more than that.
It's a lot of friggin' people. So then we got sick, and by we I mean me.
I did too. I got a cold. Not as mine. Here's how colds work in this house. Well, between her and I, she gets really sick for like a day and a half,
Yes.
and then she's good.
Yeah.
I get kind of sick for like 5 days.
Yeah.
You know, as like mine lingers. I don't get like full blown like you do.
Yeah.
I get to where I could do normal things, but I shouldn't like leave the house and go hang out with people.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna get something.
Yeah. No, I get like I have to go back to bed sick.
Yeah, for like a day and a half. You
Yes.
you burp,
Yeah.
drink orange juice,
Yeah.
and sleep.
I know the weirdest things. That's how I know when I'm sick because I'm not a big burper. Burper? Yeah, that's the right word.
Big burper.
And so if I start burping, I know that I'm getting sick.
Mhm.
That's like my first sign.
Mhm.
And then I'll get like a runny nose, everything else. But yeah, as soon as
My
I burp,
first
I'm like,
sign of being sick is who knows because I always
you're
think I'm
always,
sick.
yeah, that's true.
I always like.
It's like a hypochondriac. If someone else says they're sick, he's like, I think I'm sick too. I'm
I
like,
think I got the black
you're
lung
fine.
pops.
You're gonna be okay.
Movie reference? Anybody?
Sounds
No?
like an old person movie.
No. I think I got the black lung
Where's
pops.
John? John would know. Where's the other old guy?
He's on his little cell phone. I think I got the black lung pops.
What are you saying?
I was just referencing a movie.
Well, what's the movie?
Zoolander.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
No, it's just
mean,
a
that is
reference
an old
of
movie.
him. It's a kind of hypochondriac kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's you.
yeah.
Yeah. All
Because
right.
he
got
worked
it now.
one day in the coal mine. 1 day.
Thanks, Ray.
Old person. Well, old person to Mariah is what, 20?
No, us. Anybody as old as your parents is old.
Yeah. So, you know,
So she's right. We are
Yeah.
old.
we are. We are. That means we know a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We've experienced things.
Sure.
I have.
All right.
You may not have.
What else did
I'm
we
working
do
on
since
that.
we've been gone? I think that was it.
Since you've been gone.
Oh,
Do you know how I sang that so perfectly? We might get copyrighted.
Jeez. And I'm the one who's throwing everything off.
Ooh, I got really
Woo!
sweaty and hot
It's
because
'cause you
I
took a
was
shot.
well. And I was very frustrated. Every time before I start, I take out my frustrations on my wife,
Yes.
which is like the dumbest thing a human being can do.
It's okay. I put it in my rant. It's
Oh,
fine.
of course it is. That's your weekly rant. So, realistically, check out aleverconsulting.com. And also, we've been not busy, but unscheduled and doing things. Remember we tried to talk about like being scheduled? Ariel taught me
We
that
are
years ago.
scheduled. It's just not on the schedule.
How could
It's
you-
on someone's
how?
schedule.
Everybody else.
Somebody wrote it down.
Yeah, somebody has our name on a list. You're supposed to show up, and we're like, oh, yeah.
We're
30
there.
minutes from now. No, you're
No,
not.
no.
No. Did you miss something recently because it was on the calendar and you forgot?
No,
It was like a day ago.
I did not.
You had some sort of offsite housing thing. You're like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to be there an hour ago.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for me. It was for Raya.
Oh,
And I didn't tell Mariah either.
good job.
Valerie also said she's not old. I'm like, Valerie, if I'm old, you're old.
Just own it.
40.
Do you know what? I mean, they call it old, but it's like experienced and seasoned
Yes.
is also a term for having years under your belt.
Oh, can I say something? Since
Yeah.
Valerie's here. Valerie, can we please plan our 40th now?
Oh, boy.
We need to plan our trip. I
There
need
we
you to
go.
pick a place.
Are we doing a show? I
If
mean,
you guys want to throw in some suggestions on where we should go for our 40th, throw them in there.
yeah, let's make
But it has to
yeah.
be
Oh, here we go.
in the U.S., not super far, beachy, but
Because
not
of-
too hot.
because of one person. What?
No.
Because of Valerie?
No,
Get a passport.
there's more than Valerie.
Get a
There's
passport,
a lot
Valerie.
of us. Hey,
Leave the country.
listen, you're not turning 40. It has nothing to do with you.
I already turned 50, bruh.
No one cares. It's about the 40-year-olds.
It's
not,
about the-
not the 50-year-olds. You're just there for the ride. All right.
That seems like my whole life.
That's fine. Let's do this. Good thing.
Okay, we're just jumping past the next section and going right into good things.
What did I miss?
The section before that.
Oh, it's fine. We'll come back.
Okay. Why do I make a schedule?
You don't. Just
Why
put-
do I make a
just
schedule
Put an
about
asterisk
it?
next to it
Oh my gosh.
so we can come back.
I make a thing and she goes, oh, let's just go on to this. Just ran a button and we got to go with it.
Well, don't give me buttons.
All right, let's go. I'm just going to not talk for a minute. What's your good things
Oh,
so
okay.
I can fill in the blanks?
But you already have good things written down.
Yeah, but you're going to take some. So I'll just fill in the ones that
All right.
you didn't
So
take.
I am really enjoying my good thing is our kids growing.
I'll sit here and just text.
It's so nice.
Yeah, mhm.
So like the conversations this week have been about relationships and credit because some people are kind of trying to move out, maybe possibly one day in the future. And dating and school and friends and work. And it's nice to that it's this weird transition of your kids of not being kids anymore. Which is like sad and happy at the same time. So I'm enjoying like this section of them growing into not children, but not quite adult. Like this weird, this thing's happening. I don't know how else to explain it. It looks like this.
It's like this for all the people that don't watch the show and listen on podcasts.
You
She's
should-
flailing her hands to the right.
They're not flailing. They're
They're
scooping.
motioning.
They're scooping to the right.
Yeah, it's like digging a hole. It's like you put a shovel in there. It's like, hey, move to somewhere else.
No, that's a scoop. It's a gentle nudge. Anyways,
Like a scoop of dirt.
you finally got the iPhone. Thank God, because if I had heard one more time about how the battery life no longer is no good since they made the announcement, and how the camera is no good since they made the new announcement. Yes, he has an iPhone. He had an iPhone 11, and it was the oldest phone in the house. This should be a rant, but it is a good thing. Thank God he got the new iPhone, because if I had to hear one more, I might lose it.
But can I just reiterate something?
Sure.
Okay. Just for all the people out there that are not like Sarah. Okay. When you need the new S23 24, you just get it.
I don't need anything.
But
I don't need
but
it.
you get it. When
If
you
I
want
wanted
it,
something
you
else,
get
yes.
it, right? When I want something, I have to justify it.
That's not true. That is garbage.
Okay, I'm not saying to you,
To who?
to me.
You
I-
buy random crap all the time.
And it's justifiable in my brain.
I was like, what?
No, it's totally justifiable in my brain.
Okay.
But getting the new iPhone, it wasn't. I just gotta say, like, the new iPhone 15 Pro Max, 1 terabyte of storage, titanium, natural titanium. I was like, that kind of came out as like, that's everything I want in a phone. Tons of storage, great camera.
Yeah.
Made out of metal.
Again, I said that was a good thing.
I was like, so
'Cause now I don't have to
had
hear
to
about
justify it
the
because
11 anymore.
everything else was glass, plastic, this, and I'm like, I have the 11. It works great. I have to charge it.
So we're agreeing on what I'm saying.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is the difference is when you want something, you already have made the decision to get it,
Yes.
right? Me, if I want something, I have to justify it in my brain.
Which is so odd because I feel like that's the most backward statement I've ever heard.
No, because some things are really easy to justify in my brain, like really easy. That one was not. That's all.
All right.
I mean, I'm not talking about justifying it to you.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to come up with a case, explain it to you so that I believe it, and then I do it.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I did get that.
Yes.
So let's make your good thing about me.
I mean, it is. It is about you. Last one. We have Rebecca and myself and me have been trying to find more networking events to go to for our business. So we've been on LinkedIn finding all the things. We missed a really big one in Ohio, like last week, and it bummed us out. I know, like a massive one
How'd
we
you
should have
miss
went to. I don't know.
Aren't you part of like the?
It wasn't that group. It was a different group, but we weren't a part of yet. So now we are a part of him.
Oops.
Yeah. Anyways, so there's like
Weird. Usually, I mean, realistically, it's weird in not a like, I guess not a bad way, but it was like it's strange because
it wasn't
you guys
a
are.
concentration at the time.
Yeah.
And then we saw the pictures and we thought we should have been there.
You guys have a lot going on,
Yeah.
like a lot.
But
And-
we
and
need the networking events.
you need the networking, you need the help, you need the people.
Yeah.
true.
Anyways,
Okay.
those are my good things.
Oh, that's it. So it's just me now.
I mean, I talked, so
So can you bounce off of mine
That's
maybe?
that's
Because
what
I
I
didn't
do.
bounce. I mean,
Yeah,
so
but-
good thing. Would you like an Apple Pen?
no, I want a
What is
squishy
wrong?
bottom. Go ahead.
You want a squishy bottom?
To push the button.
Oh, I'm like, what?
Are you gonna
You said
talk about-
squishy bottom. How are we gonna just segue from squishy bottom?
I mean, I just did
I mean, that was already one of my good things. was a squishy
I
bottom.
just did it. I moved on.
Good thing. Big on the top. I have to say, Aftershock.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite experiences of the year. There's other experiences of the year that I really look forward to, like Philadelphia, when we end up going to Avila Beach. When there's certain things that I kind of look forward to every year.
Yeah.
Aftershock is such a huge one for me because it's music. It's 4 days long. I get to spend it with Sarah, right? And you can kind of show up when you want to, or that type of thing. And it's also a $15 to $20 Uber ride.
Yeah, that's
You
kind of
know,
nice.
it's right here. So I have to say my good thing is really this year. I mean, we're gonna roll over into the rants.
Yeah.
Not yet, but there's gonna be
They
some
bleed in.
aftershock rants.
Yeah.
But not about the festival itself. And not necessarily even about the people, but in general, yes,
Okay.
some of the people. Aftershock. I have to I wrote down MB for some reason. I don't know what that means.
Master bedroom.
No. That was a really bad note that I put on here.
More
so
beer.
Maybe. But I put down Aftershock because I have to say this is kind of a good thing and a little bit of a shout out. We'll get into the shout outs too because that overlaps also because Aftershock was my big thing over the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Fever 333 was so fun and
were
worth standing in the sun to me for at least 45 minutes
Yes.
to be up front. And big good thing for me, it was like a dude that I haven't seen in 2 years.
Oh, that was cool.
I haven't seen this guy in 2 years.
Yeah.
It's a guy who used
Arturo.
to just beat me up on the mat in jiu-jitsu, and he goes to Aftershock every year, and he hit me up. And I was like, dude, I'm up front for Fever. And he goes, I am too, on the left. I was like, I'm on the right. And he goes, I'll come to you. And he came over, brought a couple of his buddies, and we're like 3 people from the front, right? Maybe at most.
Yeah.
2 to 3.
We were pretty close.
And yeah, so it was so cool to see this human because he's such a, if you meet him in person, he's such a calm, respectful human being.
Yeah. That could kill you.
More than just in jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Like he comes from he's a ranger, he's an ex-ranger,
Yeah.
and has seen some things and lived some life, but just in person, it's like one of those people is like when he's on your side, he is one of the kindest people you will ever meet. Just be kind, and so it was one of those things. It's like for him to come and make the effort and bring his friends to come see us.
Yeah.
Super killer. Mosh pit going on behind us,
Friggin' mosh
which was
pits.
amazing.
Yes.
A couple of his friends wanted to hop in the mosh pit.
I
and
know they should have done it.
I think
next
they should have
year.
too. And we're like carrying bodies. That was another thing.
Not we. Listen, I've learned my lesson from last year's Aftershock. I am tired of getting kicked in the face by boots. If you are wanting to crowd surf, not me. I'm a crowd surfing dodger. I'm like, whoo, not carrying people.
I threw a person.
No, what's happening right now?
I
I
didn't-
didn't come here to work out. It's 8,000 degrees. I am literally getting sunburned. I am not carrying your body
Okay,
across
this is a good
this thing.
thing,
This
okay?
is my good thing. I let people fall. I did. My good thing.
So me.
I'm a crowd
no.
surfing dodger.
So a smaller gentleman got into my arms, and there was a gap between people. So I
He
threw him.
threw. He threw people.
I threw a person here. And then one lady just landed on my shoulder. So I walked her up and shoved her into other
Yeah.
people.
No.
But Arturo was there too. And he
Yeah.
had that same
Yes.
dynamic, kind of like, hey, get people up,
Yes.
get them on the people. Hey, you're on me. All right, keep going. It was like, that's what it's about though.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of support of other people. So I think it's cool to see that kind of stuff. Especially coming from somebody who used to go to mosh pits in the 80s where people just beat the crap out of each other and people go to the hospital all the time.
Yeah.
It's become a different crowd.
Yeah.
And it's become still a mosh pit, but people are not trying to actually hurt each other.
It's a lot of running in a circle.
Yeah, a lot of running in a circle.
Yeah.
The walls
Ugh.
that they
Don't like that
separate
either.
them, and then it's like Red Rover, but
Yes.
everybody
Yes.
gets through.
I love being.
Um,
I love when people
yeah.
are like, "I'll be the wall for you." Yes, you will. Thank you, sir. Thank you for thinking I am a female and I need to be protected because I don't want to be the wall for somebody else. And
But all
I
I got-
appreciate you.
Yeah, all I gotta say is Fever 333. See them live, please. If you like music at all, see them live.
Ooh,
Sit
can I
in
say
the
my
back.
good thing?
I Prevail.
Ooh,
See
they were
them
good.
live.
I Prevail was good.
See them live. Sleep Token. See them
were good.
live. See them live. It's just a different experience.
Yeah.
Polyphia. See them
Polyphia was
live.
cool.
See them live. It's so weird. You watch all these videos because most of these people are very active on social media, and because it's 2023, right? You have to be on the social media. The social, you have to be on the line.
On the line.
But Sleep Token, huge mystical kind of playing this thing, and then
That's the one that was wearing all black.
yeah, they were painting
The mask.
themselves and with the mask and
And then they realized it's 8,000 degrees and we can't do
no.
this.
That was Bad Omens.
Oh, okay.
Bad Omens was awesome, but I feel like they could have. There's some behind the scenes reasons why they weren't so awesome.
Yeah.
And it's physical things like somebody was very
Someone's sick.
sick.
Yeah.
But I Prevail, Energy.
They were really good.
These are all
I'm
newer
surprised
bands.
they didn't pass out.
Yeah, these are all newer bands.
Yeah.
These are not old people recommendations.
I mean,
Guys.
still, because you're an old person recommending them.
I know. So now they're not cool.
It's true.
Um,
They were still good.
So most of my stuff today is going to be about music.
That's fine.
Just being real.
So my favorite thing about Aftershock, it was our bartender. So we found this one bartender who always poured the right way for the right price. He didn't charge us for many of things. He should have. Like, we would walk out, and again, it's a festival, so everything's super expensive.
Welcome to a progressive commercial.
Yes. Everything. Oh my gosh. That part. I wrote some down. Everything's super expensive when you go to festivals, right? Like, you go get a beer and it's like $17. You get a shot and it's
Yes.
like 20 something crazy. So we would go there and I'm like, okay, we want 2 doubles because we're not coming back for a minute and a beer. And somehow it'd be like $17. I'm like, the way math works is that should be like $70, but I'm going to take your 17 and tip you nicely, and we're going to move on. And I'm going to be back later for this.
But he knows that drill.
Yeah.
He's not an idiot.
Because I think he charged us right for like 2, and then we kept going back.
Then
so
didn't
then he
charge.
stopped charging us. And I
He
was
just
like,
stopped. He charged for some.
He charged for like the beer only. And I'm like, oh, we love you. I'll see you tomorrow.
And realistically, they're getting an hourly
Right.
wage.
Plus tips.
Yeah, plus the tips. The
Yes.
tips are a big one.
Right.
Not the money that's getting spent on alcohol.
Right.
The alcohol itself,
They're
it goes to a
making
nonprofit.
Plenty of money. It's fine.
The alcohol goes to a nonprofit. That's how these things work.
Ish.
Most of the, yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff gets donated from
The vendors.
the vendors
Right.
themselves. So there's a lot of everybody can win here.
Yes.
And
But he was the best.
yeah, he was. So we always went in there, and there's going to be a kind of a rant part when we get onto the rant part. But if you guys, if anybody enjoys music, go to something live, please. You don't have to go up front and do something silly like we do and lift bodies and.
Is your
stuff like that.
progressive commercial like in here somewhere?
No,
Okay,
it was
talk
just
about
reminded me.
We're gonna talk about it right now.
Oh.
So Scooter turned into his dad when we were at this festival.
Does anybody? I mean, you gotta. I think you need to explain progressive commercial first.
Is it even a progressive commercial?
Yeah, isn't it? You becoming your parents.
I don't know if it's progressive though.
What is it?
Might be.
I don't think so.
Okay, so we're gonna go with progressive because we're not sure. But the ones that always talk about you're becoming your parents, and like when you go to a football game and you're like, let's make sure we leave early because of traffic, right? So that was Scooter. We went
Not
in.
that part. Not that part at all. The leave early so we missed
No,
traffic.
not that part. It got worse. So he went up. He asked our favorite bartender, and he's like, "So are you local? Do you live in Sacramento? Do you ever go out anywhere?" And I was like, "What are we doing right now?" And some guy, swear to God, had to have been like maybe 5 years older than Scooter. The next day, he asked the guy the same thing, and I said, "Oh my God, you're the old guy. You're the old guy asking where somebody else lives and like what they do for fun. It's
So,
weird."
but hold on. Just hold on.
There's no fixing it.
Is that an old soul
Yeah.
thing? Because I know younger people that do the same thing.
Not as cheery as you guys were.
Ryan does it.
Not like that. I bet you he does not.
Mm,
And if he
probably
is,
not.
he's becoming his dad. My other favorite one was we're standing in the water line, and Scooter's like to the guy next to us, who's not even talking to him. "This might be the longest water line I've seen this weekend. Who cares? What's happening right now? Why are you talking to this guy about the water line?" Oh gosh.
I did do that.
Or we're standing like waiting for a band, and he turns around to whoever's there. "So what's your favorite song?" What's happening?
I see
I don't
somebody.
even turn around. I just keep looking forward because I'm like, who's this old guy turning into his dad?
I see a guy with a Sleep Token shirt right at the Sleep Token concert, and that's exactly what I did.
Yes.
I turned and was like, "So what's your favorite song by Sleep Token?"
Jesus.
Whew.
And then he's like, "This is my wife." I'm like, no,
No,
we're not.
not
I am
tonight, I'm
I
not."
am not turning into my parents. You keep going with this weird conversation with random people you don't know and don't even like to talk to people. Not doing it.
Whew.
He was
was
literally turning into your parents' commercial. He turned into his dad over the 4 days. It was crazy.
But I also feel like at that moment, I'm never going to see this person again in my
It
life.
doesn't matter.
So let's have a 3-minute
Doesn't
conversation and
matter.
move on.
You would never. You won't see half the people we see in real life, but you never have conversations with them.
Mhm.
Never ever. You're like, don't
So
make
true.
eye contact. We're not talking to these people. But for some reason,
were-
at Aftershock,
But that's a whole different, that's a nightmare going through the mall and you're like, lotion sample?
Yes.
Yes. Perfume sample? Yes.
right, but I
Stop
make
smiling at people.
But I already know I have an issue at festivals. No one ever tries to talk to me except for the drunk people. Drunk people do like having conversations with me. I did make a best friend who tried to give me cash so she could buy her
I left
shirt.
her alone for what, 15 minutes?
It was a long time.
30 minutes because I was in the
Yeah.
merch line.
Yeah.
Came back. She had a best friend
I
that wanted to kiss her and do all. I'm like, what is
Just
happening?
on the cheek. She did. It was a whole picture.
Whew.
She wanted to give me cash. She trusted me enough in her. I was like, who are you with? Because you're just pulling out cash. And like, if anybody will buy me a shirt, I'm like, someone's going to rob you, dear lady. Who are you with?
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, it's not some random person on the street. They paid a lot of money to get into
Right.
this concert.
And she said she was there with someone. And I was like, you should find them because I don't like the state you're in right now.
That was
I didn't say that out
hilarious.
loud because I'm not my parents, but I thought it.
So that's where we're at. Good thing.
That was Aftershock.
Progressive
What else did you have for your good thing? Or is that everything?
That was pretty much it.
Okay.
I wrote down MB. I don't know what that means. I really don't know.
I don't know either. I was trying to-
Master,
Baton.
Mr. I really did. I put down MB.
Misters.
Like Aftershock,
I don't know.
MB.
Nope. I can't help you.
Not Bad Omens,
I can't help you. Limp Biscuit.
MB.
They were weird.
I might come back to Limp Bizkit was amazing.
Limp Biscuit was weird. He
But
did the whole thing in like a country, like a Western hat and jeans.
that's a whole nother.
It was great. Like I knew all the songs, but it was weird because I
Yeah.
was like,
That's
you're
interesting.
making me feel real old, like real old, because you look like 100 now, and I listened to you, and I felt like we were the same age.
I thought it was great.
He looked heck old.
No, he did, but that he embraced that. He didn't try and
It was weird.
some people that were just as old.
You know about Guns N' Roses?
We didn't even stay with him, but he's not as old as Guns N' Roses, which is crazy. But all those other ones feel like they're trying to make it still active and
Yeah.
big thing and all kinds of
And
stuff.
they get winded.
He's like, I'm just owning this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm old.
He was old.
I got to make myself relevant, and he did.
Yeah, people loved it.
The vibe in
I
that
love-
crowd was amazing.
It was good. I just thought it was odd. That was all.
So I'll figure out what MB
When
stands
when
for.
I thought I do it all for the nookie, I was like, this wasn't the look that I was thinking. I was thinking a little more like me listening to it in high school, and it wasn't it. It was like me listening to it right now, in my old age with a rocking chair.
Yes, that's
That's what
what
it felt like.
I mean, I do listen to new music for that reason.
I just want to say, friggin' Suicidal Tendencies seemed younger than Limp Bizkit the last time we saw them. That's what I want to say.
They
Limp Bizkit
also
seems friggin'
replaced
old.
their band multiple times.
You can't replace what's his face,
Lead singer.
right? He
Lead-
still looked younger than Limp Bizkit guy.
Yeah, the lead singer from Suicidal.
Black don't crack.
He's not black.
Who?
Suicidal?
Yes.
No,
Who are you thinking?
he's Latino. The lead singer of Suicidal Tendencies.
Ice.
You're thinking of
Not. I am North.
something complete. Body Count.
Body Count. Who's Suicidal Tendencies? Body Count.
You're
Sorry.
thinking of Ice-T.
Ice-T looked younger than friggin'
Oh,
Fred Durst.
1,000%. 1,000%.
That's his name?
And he's like 65.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait. Who?
Ice-T.
He's only 65.
Yeah,
I
he's
would
like
say like 70.
maybe.
He's heck old.
He's like LL's age.
Ella's got to be almost 70.
65.
Nah, like 69.
All right. So
Anyways. Limp Bizkit looked old, that's all I'm saying.
he did for
Ugh.
sure. But, he made choices.
Yeah, he did. I wasn't there. Okay. All right. Let's do this one. Boop. Rant of the week. Rant of the week.
Rant of the week.
I'm going to reverse that.
No, you're not. Let's
We're-
this is rant.
We didn't
Just-
do.
Sarah, you think you're in charge of the ship.
I just remembered something. We don't have a giveaway question from last week. Right?
Correct.
We only have this week's.
Okay.
We didn't need that section. We're good.
Because we say it at the beginning so people have a chance to actually
Oh.
answer it through the whole thing. It was a whole actual discussion. Actual her idea. Here's what we'll do. Let's put it in the schedule. So I put it in the schedule.
You say schedule a lot on this show.
No, I'm just saying you wanted it.
I don't think it's true. All right, I'm
I
ready.
mean, can you
Go ahead.
feel my pain through the camera or no?
No one feels it. Okay, I'm ready. Go
For
ahead
what?
and say the giveaway
No,
question.
we're rant. You already pushed the button.
Well, there's no giveaway question button. So I just said it. Giveaway.
Whew. Go for it. It's all you.
Wait, I don't know what it is. Wait, I don't know what the question is. Okay, let me steal your paper. Oh, that seems rude. So the question is, I do know it because I made it up. If you
Do
were...
you see my point? Like, she made up the point. She told me to write it down. She skipped it.
Yeah.
Told me to put an asterisk on it so we'd loop back after this and then just kept going.
But look, we're looping. We fixed it.
No. We didn't fix
I
anything.
fixed the matrix. So the question is, and you can't answer it if you were in the house when it happened. What?
In the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you were on the show. I mean,
Okay.
you had to be in the house to be on the show,
Okay.
right?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. So, in episode 28, which was last episode, there were some visitors in the house, right? They were on episode 28.
The crazy episode.
Yes. So, sorry if you were actually on that episode, you can't answer this question. But everybody else has a free pass for this. So, we got so excited. There was so much energy in the room. Nobody got introduced.
No.
Nobody. Which, do I feel bad for that? No. That's my circle of people, man. Like, if you don't know who they are, you're not part of the circle.
It's a long question.
So, here you go, Sarah. Camera's on you. Like,
You wanted me to vamp.
no, that's not vamping. That's interrupting cow.
Ugh.
Like, what is it?
Did you just call me a cow?
Knock, knock.
You just called me a cow?
I didn't mean to.
That
It was the
seems
joke.
rude.
I think you missed the point. I've been watching too many dad jokes. Knock,
I
knock.
don't like you just called me a cow.
Knock, knock.
Yes.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting
Moo.
cow who? I'm a mom. I don't let things bother me. What's happening?
So, at the table, you have to name every person that was at the table on episode 28, which was just the last episode.
Yes.
You have to name, first names is fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's ideal.
First names across the board. Relationships?
No,
Okay.
just first names.
First names across the board. There was 5 people there.
There were 6 people there.
On camera?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So 6. Uh-oh. This is going to be a tough one then. 6 people were there. You have to name us. We were there.
I mean, it's the gibby.
The other 4 you have to name also.
Gimme. Yeah.
So put that in the chat. If it's after chat and you're watching this in VOD, then go ahead and put it in the comments below,
Please.
please.
All right. Now, I'm going to do it again. Rant of the week. Rant of the week.
Rant of the week. I'm sweating so hard right now.
I know. We're doing one more.
So-
Actually, that's not true. Not yet.
Not a beer.
Not yet. You go get a beer. I will rant. Boom. Okay, rant number 1. Every time we get ready to do this show, and this fool across the table.
Here's
from
the
me-
problem. No, hold on. I'm not going because here's what happens when she goes, "Hey, go do something," and I'll rant. Do you know what she talks about? Me. Like,
Yeah.
go through the history of the videos. Like, oh yeah, go grab some
You
stuff.
never go grab
Give
things.
me the mic by
Right.
myself.
You don't usually go grab things. I do.
Here you go.
I
Rant.
give you a topic and I
Rant
leave.
away.
Okay, I am. Put it back on me. Okay. Every friggin' week we do this. And he says, "You're just the talent. Could you go do this talent?" And I just want to be, listen, MF and some bad words after that. Who just went to go get groceries before this and made dinner and worked all day and made sure you had something to eat before this and poured shots and went to get the papers that you press print for? Me. So I might be the talent, but I also go do things. When it comes to this show, that's my rant number 1. Number 2, why is networking so hard? Like, our networking events are a little dry, but why is it so hard to go, like, have a conversation with people and, like, sell who your company is and who you are and be like, you should like me and you should see my value? Why is networking required but so hard and draining and tiresome? I don't know, but that's one of my rants. Why is the Sacramento Sun trying to kill me? Did you know Sacramento was the only place I've ever been outside and gotten sunburn? Like to the point, and it's only my face. But my lips get sunburned, my forehead gets sunburned, and then right up here my upper lip gets sunburned if I am out in Sacramento sun only for too long. And I don't like it. And I don't know if it's pollution or smog or whatever it is, but I hate it.
Or lack thereof.
Maybe, whatever it is. Maybe it's fake sun here. I don't know. But I hate the Sacramento sun.
That's a lot of rants. Usually we just pick like something to really rant
Well,
about.
you left, so here we are.
What?
Here we are. I'm not done.
What was the one right before that, though?
Networking. Why is it so hard but required?
I'm trying to... I feel like networking used to be easy.
I've never networked before.
So I feel like it used to be people getting together for a common reason, and then they got to know each other, exchanged some cards, maybe had a drink, whatever, and then moved on. Right?
Yeah.
That used to be, that's usually pretty normal. Now I feel like it's become more of an interrogation or a what's in it for me.
Makes sense.
Because networking has become less of a community thing and more of like, are you good enough to do business with me?
Right.
And I'm like, what?
I don't know.
When did that happen?
I don't
like,
know.
I feel like that happened recently. We're talking within the last 5 years.
I don't know. I don't like it.
At least my personal experience. Like, I feel like the last 5 years, it's become more of a like, well, are you good enough to network with me? I was like, this isn't a job interview. We're supposed to
feels
just
like
exchange some
it
information
always feels
and
like
move
a job
on.
interview.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
like
why I
it.
was like, networking's gotten weird,
Don't like it.
realistically.
I don't like the fact that I can send either of my girls to pick up CJ from school and nobody asks them for ID. But if I go, I have to show my ID to get him. And I don't think that's right because I'm the parent and they're not. And I think that's weird.
I see that.
One of my rants. I'm almost done. I'm stealing yours.
So should we change this to rants plural?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
Do what I want. Why is the first paper towel glued if they're individually packaged?
Oh, that was something. That was something I talked about.
I know.
That was my
That's for
rant.
you. He came out of the bathroom the other day and said that, and I said, I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense. Why are they gluing it if they're already individually packaged?
So it's just like
I
a
don't know.
segue for me to go? Is that what this
nope,
is?
not yet.
Oh, you're not.
I'll
You
move
should have.
on.
See, if you knew how to do it well, that would be your last one.
This is why no one asked you.
And
Last
then it
one.
would segue to where I could keep going. But now I'm going to keep going because I really want to rant about paper
You have
towels.
to come back.
I can't. I don't loop back.
You have to
Like,
loop. You have to loop.
I don't think you understand how entertainment works.
You're going to have to loop.
Holy crap.
Why do people complain about events that they're never going to plan themselves? That's for Aftershock. The amount of people who complain about what was... Now, I get constructive criticism about, like, it would have been cool if this. But the people who complain just to complain, who are never, ever going to plan anything, even as close to Aftershock as what it was, still complaining because they're a-holes, it drives me up a wall. There's no need. We get it. You didn't like X, Y, and Z. Then don't do that next year. You didn't like that it was 4 days. Then don't go for 4 days. Like, you don't have to go whatsoever. Why are you complaining about this? There you go. It's for you.
It's a good one.
I know. You're welcome.
So they're both kind of segues. Why? I mean, I was trying to do both of us because then you segue. All right. So the paper towel thing, I don't understand that. I feel like it's a waste. Now I understand individually packaged, like toilet paper has the glue on the end because there's no plastic around them.
Right?
Now, why would you do that to paper towels that are already individually wrapped in plastic?
But commercial toilet paper is packaged individually and it has glue.
Again, there you go. Stupid. No, I feel like it's a waste of product. Also, it's a waste of paper.
But it's not that much glue. You still use the first piece.
But the first piece comes off either a quarter of the piece, 1.5 pieces. Like, it never comes off great.
Okay.
It's very true. It always comes off in some sort of chunk where you have to, like, okay, 3 rolls in. Oh, rotations in. We finally got a full piece. It's kind of like the end of tape, the end of tape. Like, somebody should figure out how to make tape to where when you trim it, it doesn't slice off and you have
Yeah.
to restart it. I was like, it's a waste. That's a small rant. But the lines, because I did have this here, complaining about lineups. Yeah, complaining about lines, lineups, and the VIP section.
Yeah.
For, I'm not going to say just Aftershock, but for all festivals.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first thing.
Number
You
one.
did not have to go.
Yeah.
You did not need to purchase VIP,
It's true.
right? You didn't book any of the bands.
Right.
Not even one. But yet are going to complain about the lineup.
Right.
And you bought a ticket.
Yes.
Now, there are some festivals where you get the lineup before you buy the tickets. Makes
Yes.
sense. Aftershock is one of them if you'd like to.
Yeah. You have
Right?
the choice.
You have that choice.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing was complaining about the lineups, yet you didn't attend.
Right.
Complaining about the VIP and it's too expensive.
Right.
It's not worth the money,
Right.
yet you didn't do it.
Yes. How do you know?
You have no idea.
Right.
Like, I feel there's just certain things like I like the GA. I'm okay with general. I would have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever complained about our GA tickets since we've been going since 2015. I
Right.
found out. So we've been going for 8 years.
Yeah. We tried VIP this year.
First year.
Never going back.
No, it's like we did general admission every single time we've done it since 2015.
Yeah.
Right? And we're like, we had a really good time.
Yes.
Now, the bathrooms ran out of water. We had to bring our own wipes, and it was a
Things
little
got muddy.
That was a little icky and muddy.
Mm.
And we went to VIP, and that kind of went away.
Okay. Let's not say go away. You're in air conditioned. Now, granted, there's still porta potties, but they're like the fancy porta potties where like everyone has their own little stall and there's multiple stalls in like this air conditioned room, and it has a bathroom and place to wash your hands and soap, and it never runs out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's worth VIP by itself.
Well, and you got to look at it. It's like, what is worth the value to you?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, is it?
I don't want to go in a porta potty.
But also, it's like we talk about this so many times. We don't buy it in a big chunk. We don't just fork out this big chunk of money. We put it on layaway from like it's already started.
The day after.
Like the day
concert.
after the year before, right? We start doing it late. So it may be an extra $20 a month.
Right.
For a year.
Yeah.
And you have that experience for 4 days. We're not talking just one day.
Right.
4 days.
And we go every day. Like we've never not gone.
I think,
a whole
we
day.
did once. We did once because I went too hard.
yeah,
It was early days.
But not for VIP.
No, because you can go and actually sit.
There's seats in VIP in the shade. Oh,
There's shade. There's seats. The lines were super short.
yeah.
The restrooms. I mean, I went to one that didn't have AC once, and I'm like,
Then you just choose a different one.
oh my god!
It went
No.
out, so you go to the one next door,
But-
and there's AC.
But it's different because the AC is not going on, but it still has separate sections. It still has soap. It still has towels. It has all those. I mean, even in there, they had like a spray deodorant. They had spray deodorant, and what else was in there?
I don't remember, but it was wonderful.
I think it was like mouthwash or something.
Yeah.
There was just little things that was like, yes, that's worth it to me.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm not here trying to rough it. I'm not camping.
No.
Right? I'm here, to have a good time and then stay clean. But realistically, so it's more about the people that don't do VIP and complain about VIP.
Yeah.
I haven't heard somebody that got VIP and complained about VIP.
I'm sure it's out there, but
The only things that I did have some suggestions about VIP, but whatever we got this year was totally worth it.
yeah,
It was a huge upgrade
I agree.
in our eyes. Just I think it's one of those things of complaining without
Experiencing it.
and I think that's where we come back to the keyboard warrior
Yeah.
stuff. Like you don't know. You sit there and you've watched YouTube videos. you think you know what you're talking about, yet you've never experienced it, but you have so much to tell other people and so much mentorship to give somebody else, yet you've never done it.
Right.
That frustrates me to no end.
Yeah.
So I think that's where all that comes through.
All right. I liked it. Good rant.
I
Are you
get
done?
1, you got 5.
Yeah. Well, mine was fast and yours aren't. So.
Here, I'm gonna make mine quick.
Me?
No, it's not about you. No, is that group chat.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you told me to tell about it. Like, use a group chat.
We have a group chat for our family.
Not just our family, but like
We have multiple group chats.
right, if we have the technology in this era, whatever generation we're on right now, 16 to 25, 14 to 20, whatever it is, you have the capabilities of asking both of your parents or notifying a whole household
At the same time.
with one simple little,
Yes.
and that's it.
Yes.
Do you know why? Because that's more efficient.
I agree.
But we have a tendency in lifestyles to message one person, and hopefully that one person tells
telephone.
everybody else. So that's insane to me. That's insane to me. It makes no sense to me, because then I have to go, hey, where's so and so? Oh, they called me and did this, and they texted on this. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
group chat.
Yeah.
I
want to say we're getting better, but
we're not
about the same.
There was a point where we were great,
Because Mariah did it all the time.
and then
Mariah
and then
moved.
it went
so
through the floor.
Now we no
Okay?
longer have group text.
So, just saying.
All right.
And my last, without getting too, I'm just gonna say this: people becoming disconnected with reality, people becoming disconnected with the value of life.
You're just going to say it and leave it there?
We know what's going on in the world. The disconnection of value between some of our societies and some of our ideas and our goals and our math and our, I'll say religion, our beliefs, everything disconnecting from the value of life is insane to me.
Yeah. I agree with that one.
So, you want my full rant on that?
Nope.
Send me a message. I will fully rant with you, because I have some very close family members, very good friends, and everything that are part of very,
Both
very,
sides.
very, very close connected to the both. Let's go
Yeah.
quote unquote sides
Right.
of this, which in reality, there is no side.
Like
Humanity,
18 sides, honestly.
humanity should win, should be the side.
Right.
That's it. All right. Not valuing life.
All right. I mean, I like it. I don't have a jingle for the next one.
You're supposed to just sing it.
What's up in your Ariel? Okay, so Saturday we're going to a marching band event in Rockland. If you're in town, it's very early in the morning, and I'm very sad about that because I think
Gross.
step off is like 8 a.m.
Nope.
Woo! And it's done by like noon, so that's kind of nice.
Is it?
Yes, it is. And then after that, we're going to Highland Park Whiskey event downtown. That should be fun. You and I are going, not the kids, obviously.
That was my only what's up in your area.
Oh, okay.
What's up in your area? That's my only one, and I wanted to expand that to other people too. It's like, we're going to a whiskey event, which is kind of social. We really don't talk to
We
other
don't talk to
people.
anybody.
Yeah, but we,
Just each
enjoy it and have our time with ourselves. But what's up in your area? There's so many things. So if you need help, let us know.
Wait, I
We'll
didn't
look it up for
finish.
you. Okay.
All right, not done. There's the Boo Bash at the Children's Museum in Tumwater. That looked fun. I'm just going people that I know. Molly Shannon and Reggie Watts are at Moore Theater in Seattle this weekend. That seemed fun.
Who is?
Molly Shannon and Reggie Watts.
What? How? Together?
It seems like it because it was both days at the same place. So I was like, oh,
No, it's like there's not an opener, or he's like
I
the
don't know.
musician
I didn't-
behind
I
her,
didn't go
or
that far into it.
I mean, you know what Molly Shannon
Yes.
is, right? Do you know who Reggie Watts is?
Yes,
Who's Reggie Watts?
he has big hair.
You are correct.
I know.
He's out of the Bay Area. He led the band for who's the British guy? Late Late Show.
Tom, Bobby.
Nope, not even close. All right. So the Late Late Show, Reggie Watts. Also, our good friends have played music festival stuff
Yeah,
with
I know.
him.
That's why I put it
The
down.
Rappas and Brick House.
Can I
Yeah.
finish my segment? Okay. In
I'm trying to
Houston-
bounce off of you because I
know.
only had one. But I mean,
No,
that's
it's all me.
fine. This is just
in
you.
Houston.
There you go. Here's your camera.
Thanks. They have the Sweeney Todd at the Hobby Center Performing Arts. That's Becca's it's like Becca's favorite play is Sweeney Todd. So I wrote that one down. And then because of the time of year, football's everywhere. So if you can't find anything to do, watch football. Because it's awesome. That's all. Fine, stop being weird. What do you want?
Shout out!
Woo! Are you done talking?
Kinda. Like you're very dominating right now. You've moved around everything.
I did not. I only moved
4
around
things.
2 things.
No, you moved one thing and then moved it again, so that's 4 times that something has to be moved. Just realistically.
Okay.
We're not going to fix it in post because that's too much work for me.
Stupid. Just
Yeah.
play it.
Shout out. Go ahead.
Nope, your turn.
Is it?
Yeah, it's on you.
You're going to say I'm talking too much?
I mean, I will all the time.
All right. So realistically, let me see if I can I'll put it in the chat. So even in VOD, it should pop up. So there's a Friday night stream that happens with a good friend of ours. I mean, let's see. She is. I love it. Yeah, it's because, you're the only one watching, Valerie.
That's not true.
Valerie says she is. I love it. Yeah. Let's see if I can. Yeah, he has a YouTube. I put the link in the chat. The reason we put him in there is because we've been talking for years. He's also, if you look at our social media, our Sarah and Scooter and everything, the caricatures, they're really called chibis. That's why I don't like saying caricature. But the chibis that are made about us, he did those. He's done a lot of artwork for Time to Tabletop in the past. He's also the owner of Scattered Comics. So please check that out.
Cool.
He's very
like
cool.
Jason.
He's a very down to earth.
Yeah.
He's a dad, a homeschool dad.
Yeah.
That even over the pandemic had to get like a quote unquote real job instead of because, things happened. So check him out, please. He does stream mostly on Fridays, right around 6. So yeah, great guy. Know him personally. Know his work. Talented human and a good human. So please check him out. It's at I know I that's one of those things I was like, Jason, you should probably fix this, but it's at Jason Doobie 5285 on the YouTubes. On the line.
On the line.
But yeah, click that link if you don't. We'll
Watch
talk
him
about
tomorrow.
it before.
We'll watch him tomorrow too.
Yeah, shout out. Couple things. Ren. Have to talk about Ren.
It's not his friend.
Nope. I started with friend. But Ren is not my friend. It'd be awesome if he was. He's a Welsh artist. And he's just doing amazing music right now. Younger guy. He hasn't been around for more than 5 years becoming popular in this genre. But please check him out. It's Ren.
Yeah.
RenMusic.com.
His new album is Sick Boy.
Sick
B-O-I.
Boy. Yeah, and it's just phenomenal.
Boy.
It came out. He is like, I've been listening for a while, and he was kind of underground and stuff like that. Now he has the #2 album in the UK.
Yeah.
And he's hoping for #1 this week. I mean, it comes from nothing. And this is like a self-published guy. He's not under any label. He's doing it all by himself. Him and his small little team of like 3 people.
You know what I learned is that being on like the top billboards in the US is like a big deal to people.
Yes, because
I
it's
didn't realize.
in the U.S. In the U.K. It's such a small community that it can happen. You do have some hope.
Yeah.
Once you hit number 1 in UK, you become part of you. You are on the United States radar.
Right.
You're not on the chart.
Yeah.
But it's like you hit number 1 in UK. We'll consider putting your stuff on.
I didn't
United
realize
States radio.
that it was such a big deal. To
It's
look
a
at that
huge
Sheeran
deal.
concert. Yeah.
So please
Ren's
check
cool.
this
I
dude
like
out.
Ren. Yeah.
Plus, he's very, very aggressive with his music. It's out of my normal genre. Realistically, it's not metal or
like
hard rock at all.
Broody, heartfelt music. I mean,
Yeah,
that
but
is their genre.
but it's also very hip hop, fusion, piano, guitar.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
I like it.
And also the last one I have to say is like Fever 333 and April K, because
She followed him back.
she followed us back. Like, this is the bass player for Fever 333 and has followed us. Her bass, not just her, but her playing bass with April or whatever it is, on her social. She followed us. And I'm like, that's huge. And like, she mentioned us and she responded to us and was chatting. And
He
I'm like,
lost his mind when
I was
he
like,
said,
are
she
you
messaged us.
are
I was
you
like, all right.
kidding me? I was like, and this is, so super cool. Don't forget these people that we watch on TV and listen to that create music. They're human beings like us, and they had to work their butt off to get where they're at.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
those are my 3.
All right. I had 3, but I crossed one off. So I'm going to have 2. So Inderkum High School Marching Band season is upon us. And so I want to shout out those kids because they are friggin' at school till 7 o'clock, 2 to 3 days a week. Sometimes at school at 7 a.m. just to practice for literally 3 competitions. And so I want to shout out them. And then I want to shout out my dad for actually retiring again.
You think?
No, he likes signed papers.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
He said he was looking at the paperwork.
Well, that's true.
He did not say he signed
But my
anything.
dad, I think, is retiring again. That means he might actually move back to California.
Right.
I'm
I
very
think that
excited.
was. I think that was
That's
stellar.
my good thing and shout out at the same time. Hi, Urel. She said,
Oh,
hi.
Urel, we got some things I want to talk to you, Urel.
That was weird.
Just in general, it's like,
Just fuck you said a name weird.
well, it's like she won some stuff, and there's some other stuff that other people won, and I need to
Get
get
it
some
together.
shirts from you, Urel. Like, it's been a poop show
Yeah.
when it comes to scheduling over here. So I'm
But
gonna reach
those
out
are-
to you very
Those are
soon.
my shout outs. Hopefully, my dad was back in December.
Yeah, that'd be super
Missed
cool.
him.
Well,
Not that I haven't seen him,
I
but
feel like he's one of the only people in your family that at least speaks the truth. Does that make sense?
I don't know that I
When
want to.
you don't want to unpack. I don't want to talk about lineage and history. I'm talking about a current conversation. Like,
We're not going to say that either. But he's a very loving human. We're going to say that.
maybe I just relate to that man
That part.
more than anybody in your
Yeah.
family. Let's look at that way.
Let's leave it there.
Seen some crap and then
Yes.
tried to protect his kids from the crap.
Yes. Ish.
And then in the end, it blew up in his face.
That's not true. That's not the reason why. That's not the reason. Okay. Anyways, those are our shout outs. Shout out. Woo! And also football season, so everybody should be going, woo! For all the games, because it's fun.
I'm okay with not doing that if it's not a rock concert.
No.
If it's not a concert, I don't do woos. Have you ever seen me do
If
a
it's not
woo?
a sporting event, you shouldn't woo.
Oh,
What are you wooing at rock concerts for? You go, ow! That's a rock concert. You don't woo at a rock
Ow?
concert. Ow! Different.
That's a rock concert?
Yeah. Well, you go, yeah!
That's what I do.
I know.
Yeah, it hurts my throat.
I know.
And I love it. No, if you're at a live game, for sure.
Any game.
But if you're watching on TV, it's like, who's hearing you?
They are hearing you.
Oh, I don't think
It's
so.
like the Peter Pan effect. Someone's hearing it. You're brightening up someone's
Can
day.
you help me understand this Peter Pan effect? Define the Peter Pan effect. Let's unpack that.
It's like when you know it's not real, but you know it's helping someone out anyway, so you do it to make somebody feel better. You just know who it is.
Okay. I didn't know that was a Peter.
No, I just made that up.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
so where's the relationship between that? Because I believe in that very, very, very strongly.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what religion you're part of. That's a real thing.
Yes.
Right? How does that relate to Peter Pan?
What do you mean?
Like, where's this Peter Pan? Like, if you believe there's food and you eat it and you're full?
Have you not seen Nana? Nana was a dog who watched children, but she believed that she was those kids' Nana. She believed. She was not their Nana.
Wow, this is a real stretch.
Just saying.
Like,
She was not Nana, but she believed it, and they all believed it.
I'm going to take notes on this.
She also believed she could fly, and she couldn't.
This is some fan fiction. You wrote a whole story about Nana.
Nana's the best. She's the best character of all of Peter Pan.
I agree with you, the cartoon. I agree. Yes. I agree with you.
Is she not in the new one?
What do you mean?
Is she not in like the live action Peter Pan?
I was just saying the cartoon.
No, I'm just saying. If she's not, then why are we watching Peter Pan?
It's like talking to a ping pong ball.
I know.
Like when I talk, the ping pong ball bounces off another wall.
I mean, not really. We're talking about Nana.
Yes. And I just was verifying the cartoon version because that's the one you're fixated on.
Yes.
So that our listeners can understand that we're talking about the Nana, the dog that was part of the cartoon.
Yes.
So that the further of our conversation, people could follow it.
I'm with you.
Oh, you are. But I just want to make sure that the people that might want to listen to this can also follow your
It's fine. No one actually
your pattern.
gets it.
Okay. So fan fiction, we're going to write a story about Nana. We'll make it into, we'll get with Jason Doobie.
Love Nana.
Scattered Comics. We'll make a comic book out of it.
Okay.
I'm not joking. You want to do it?
I don't think we have the rights to Nana.
Oh, we can find it.
No.
There's got to be, I mean, you don't have to, you could do it esque.
I don't want to. I
There's
want
a way
Nana.
to do it. Okay.
Only Nana. All right. So I
got issues.
I know.
And I ain't one of them.
Advise me not. Okay. So
it took us an hour.
Here's where it gets a little difficult, guys.
To advise me.
It's not a very good advise me not. It's more of a conversation, which we've already been having. But I split it up into two things. So
I'm concerned.
just hang on. And we're gonna make this work.
So here's the segment. This is what our show is supposed to be about. But we usually linger on all the other stuff for some reason before we get here. But advise me not is a subject that we
spent so much time trying to figure out.
Let Sarah come up with the topic instead of us talking about it. And then she doesn't think about it till right before the show starts.
That's
or
fair.
She may have made it up like 3 minutes ago.
No.
We don't know. None of us know.
I think I had 30 minutes.
And it is a topic normally that we give you advice without giving you advice. We just give you our opinions. You roll with it. Take it or leave it.
Yes.
We really don't care.
This one today is about you, sir.
It's always about me because I tick you off before the show starts and then she comes up with the topic
not a
while I'm
tick-off
ticking
moment.
her off.
It's not. I mean, that was my rant.
That's usually how this works, though.
But okay, here's my conversation I want to talk about because it's something you and my dad both said, and so I feel like it's a good mesh. You turned 50, and then you started having questions about life. We're not going to say midlife crisis because that's not a thing we talk about. It's just
because 50 is not the middle of your life because the average lifespan is like 70 or 80.
Listen to my family, 50. I mean, and my grandparents, 50 is the middle. Anyways, okay. So the topic is somewhere between bucket list and midlife crisis.
Somewhere.
Because when you turned 50, like the day after, he was like, I can't believe I made it to 50. I don't even know 2 of my grandkids. I don't even do this. And I was like, this feels midlife crisis-y. And he's like, well, it's not. I'm just concerned about all these things. And I'm like, but I think that's what a person who doesn't want to say they're going through a midlife crisis. You're not buying a motorcycle again.
But I think that's what there's a difference. Like midlife crisis. Yeah. So I see what you're saying. I think somewhere between bucket list and midlife crisis. Look, I just spit.
I know because I feel like
so you're saying it's the other way around. Somewhere between midlife crisis and bucket list.
I like mine better
Well, I'm just saying
because I said it.
oh, yeah, but yours goes from old to young instead of
They're both old.
chronological.
No, they're both old statements. I think that was my point. They're
Okay.
both so it's like somebody when they get old, they're like, man, the things I haven't accomplished yet. Here's my bucket list of things.
Right.
And it's also somebody who's like, man, I'm old. I need to start seeing the things I haven't done yet and work on them. So that's why I said somewhere between, because people I feel like are in either two places. I don't want to ever say bucket list because that makes me sound old, but I also want to say midlife crisis because that makes me sound old. So I'm like, somewhere between those two things is realistically where you're at right now.
I feel like here's my because maybe we need to unpack the definition of the two because my definition of that is completely different.
Okay.
So, to me, a midlife crisis, being a cis male, right, is somebody who turns a certain age and goes, I've lost my youth somewhere. So I'm going to go find my youth.
Okay.
To me, that's a midlife crisis. Like the definition of it. I'm not saying because I do that almost once a year.
Lost youth. Okay.
Yeah. It's a kind of a lost youth. Like that's when you buy a convertible, you buy a motorcycle, you make some
Trade out your wife.
yeah, I mean, go find a trophy wife. That's to me, that's the midlife part, right? And it doesn't matter to me. It's not what age it happens
Right.
at. There's something I lost my youth somewhere, and I want to find my youth.
Okay.
Bucket list to me is something going. There's so many things I still want to do in my life, and I have not done them yet. I need to go check them off.
Okay.
And that's why when you said it that way, I felt like there's, to me, chronologically, usually a midlife crisis happens somewhere. And then after a while, you're going, I'm never going to regain my youth. So I need to check off these things on my bucket list.
So the reason I think
That's-
I said it the other way,
And I'm just saying
I know.
traditionally,
I know.
not what I believe in,
Right.
but I'm just saying traditionally, that's how I perceive the definition.
the reason
the
I
two.
said it the other way is because to me, it's like one is the bucket list moment to me is when something traumatic happens in your life. And there's not an age based thing. Like to me, my bucket list started when I lost my mom, right?
Yeah.
So there's things I'm like, now I have to do these things because life is more finite now than it's ever been to me. I'm realizing that now, right?
Okay.
So like that to me, that's when bucket lists start is when something happens that makes you realize that life is finite and like I want to do certain things before X, Y, and Z happens. So to me, my bucket list is coming before my midlife crisis because I haven't reached that one yet.
But let's be
may be
real.
never, I don't
No, midlife crisis, they usually, I don't think I've ever experienced just a midlife crisis. I've had multiple.
Right.
So they weren't a crisis. They were more of like,
Moments.
yeah.
Life
And it
moments.
happens, to me, it's like every couple of years.
Oh yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah. I was like, every couple of years I was like, man, I didn't get to do that. So I'm like, I always want to be a rock star. So buy a bunch of equipment, or I always want to, have a live show. So let's just do that. But it also like, and in my 30s, I was like, let's buy a motorcycle. Cause I always wanted to ride a motorcycle, but I never did. So I was like, I feel like I have multiple those moments, but also I understand where you're coming from, not an age thing, but I also feel like it's not an age thing. I don't think I said age. It was more of a, let's say, maturity
Well, because
level.
you said chronological, so to me that meant
Well,
numbers.
they usually happen in that order.
Yeah.
That like the normal order is from what I understand it from a cis male point of view, midlife crisis, and then you start checking your bucket list, right? That's normal. But there's moments in people's lives that I feel like age them in maturity quicker.
Yeah.
Losing a parent when you're younger, that can change things in your dichotomy dynamic. Yeah, like it can change things in your system.
Right.
Your system changes, and I'm not talking like just mentally or emotionally, like physically.
Yeah.
Your body changes because of that. So that things you need to experience, you don't want to lose
right.
that connection.
Right.
So I'm saying the traditional order. So there's a somewhere between bucket list and midlife crisis. Very vague.
Yes. But the reason I want to have the conversation is one, like literally after your 50th birthday party, was the statements you made were almost identical to the statements that my dad made, who's like 20 years older than you. I think similar-ish there. And he was having the same thoughts. He's like, I was talking the other day and he's like, man, I have like 4 or 5 grandkids that I've never held. And that was a decision that I made, right? Because I haven't been back to see them. They haven't been back to see me. And one of the reasons why I want to come back to California, because there's things that I haven't done. There's people whose lives I haven't been a part of because I haven't done X, Y, and Z. Right. And I'm like, I'm glad you're growing up, Dad. Like, I mean, realistically, that's a grown-up thing to say. No matter how old he is, it's still a grown-up thing to say. But to me, he's somewhere in between my bucket list and my midlife crisis. Because I feel like, if they ever listen to it, can't care, his current wife was his midlife crisis. It was, I'm not truly happy with the life I'm living, so I'm going to go do something else. Mm-hmm. And that was his current wife and his current life, and that's what he went to go do. Right? So I feel like he had his midlife crisis moment before he had his bucket list. And now I think he's realizing it's really lonely where I'm at right now. Sure. And you guys are all living a life and I don't have a part of it. And so now I feel like he's on the side of, there's things in my bucket list, which may not even be like going to travel and do these things. It literally is, I want to go hang out with people that I love because I haven't been doing that. So I just thought it was so interesting, 2 different ages, but like to have conversations with both of you, how it's still very similar. Because you're like, man, I have 2 grandkids that I don't really know. Yeah. And not that we can't, it's just like, it just hasn't happened to be where you could go and hang out with them for long periods of time and do the things. But I just thought it was so interesting that you guys almost had that same like thought process at 2 different points in life. And not that my dad didn't have grandkids like many years ago. I mean, he has.
Right.
I just thought it was interesting. So to me, that was like, it's between midlife crisis and bucket list is both of you guys in the conversation that we've had over the last like 15 days or whatever it was.
That's true. And I think it has to come to I don't think it's an age thing. Again, I think it's a more of where did things meet? Like something in life made that occur. Yeah. Like an impasse. I think that's what it was. You have to come to an impasse, and the impasse. It's not that it could come in your 20s. It could come in your 30s, 50s, 80s, whatever. But there's an impasse to where, hey, this is not what my life's about. And I think we touched base about this 2 weeks ago, like with the group of people that were here, which I'm not going to name their names because that's the question of the week.
I think it was like 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was like 3.
It's been a minute. Yeah. Anyways.
But with those humans that were here, like there's been a lot of animosity in the past. Right. And I feel like that's where people really find their room to grow is when you have a relationship with somebody. I've said this, I think maybe I've said this on here, but I get excited for a relationship with a person that I'm committed to. And that's either a family member, spouse, parent, whatever. Good friend, ride or die, whatever. When you get to the point where you get excited, I can't wait for us to really dislike each other.
I have never thought that in my life.
And then, okay, you can't interrupt at that point. Get to the point where we really dislike each other, and then we resolve the situation through love, discussion, commitment, and we move on from it because we were both honest with each other. That's, to me, a real relationship. To me, is like if you're able to get past that at one point, you're solid. Because if you don't have, this is my opinion, if you don't have the point in somebody that you have a very, very close relationship, you don't have the point where you have a big disagreement and things are really bad, and then you come out on the other end, somebody is compliant or just tolerating it.
Right.
So it's either going to get worse or a lot of resentment. And that's just my experience. And I feel like I've gotten to that point. It took me a while, but I feel like the humans that were here 2 weeks ago, again, what I could just say. So, little tidbit here. So, Bailey and Ariel, there were a lot of moments that were rough. And we got to the point where, can we work through this? No. At times we said, no, we can't. And then we did. And then these humans have other humans. And I don't want that to happen on that end with those, because they're going to have their own relationship that way. It's going to be
Right.
ups and downs, those kind of things. So, long story short, long story long. My bucket list, I guess if you want to put it, is I don't want to miss out. I don't want my grandkids to miss out on knowing that they had a grandpa.
Right.
Like, maybe not the traditional, like, grandpa that, like, smoke cigars and you sit on their knee, but, like, had a grandpa.
Yeah.
They knew that person existed, because I didn't have grandparents at all.
Right.
Period. And I find out, like, maybe that'd have been good.
Right.
I might have been a better person if I'd had grandparents in my
Yeah.
life. I don't know.
But do you feel like, again, maybe it's just because you have the grandkids now, but we've had grandkids for a while. But for some reason, I mean, Lenny's 4.
Well, 4 years.
Right.
That's not like 20 years.
But
4
for
years.
some reason, after your birthday party was the day you're like, man, I want to do something else. Like, after you turned 50 was the day you verbally, and maybe you've said it, maybe you've thought a long time, but this is the last time you verbally said it out loud that I want to do something different.
What do you mean something? Did I say something different?
Yeah, you're like, I need to go see them more often because there's people that I don't know.
That's true. But I think...
My question is, do you think that it's because, and okay, the only reason I asked is because that's when you said it. Do you think it's because you were like, I didn't think I'd make it to 50, and now that I'm here, what am I doing now?
Yeah.
Right? So to me, that's why it's this middle section of like, it's not a midlife crisis, but it is a crisis of mind. Of like, man, I only have so much left.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that I still want to do.
Yeah.
Bucket lists, right? But also, I can't keep doing the things I'm doing because I'm not that young anymore.
Oh, that's for sure. I mean, I think that's encompasses anybody that's getting, I mean, when you turn 20, when you turn 30.
It's different,
when you
though.
turn 40. And it's not a number. I think it's a situational thing. I think it comes down to the point of, it's not about realistically turning 50. It's more of the realization that I can give my time. I can give whatever money, resources, influence, advice. And since my children are getting older, they are reciprocating that. I think it had more to do with they made the time for me this time.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, bro. So I got to step up, because it's like, I think that's where it really came down to. It wasn't a 50 thing. It was more of, I have not. All right. Can't do it.
You have to. We're on the show.
I have not hung out with my baby girls like that.
Yeah.
In like any capacity. Like just us three in the same house, just doing normal adult human being life things.
Right.
Like, what's for lunch?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are we watching? I was like, oh, okay, this person's throwing a tantrum. Okay, we're doing this. We haven't had that in so long.
Right.
That I didn't realize what I'm missing out on.
Yeah.
And it happened in my house.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a whole different experience of them, you know, because I mean, they're late 20s, one's 30.
Right.
You know, I'm like, come on.
So on the opposite end.
So look at it from, that's when I look at it from your dad's point of view.
Right.
That's where I see his point of view.
Yeah.
And feel for the dude.
Yeah.
Because it's a different perspective.
So on the opposite end, what about your dad?
What about
Like
him?
the time that we could have went to go see him, but we haven't.
Right.
Right? Like I feel like he's probably on that same journey and path of, I don't have that much time. And he tries in his own way. I feel like I sound Canadian. He tries in his own way.
It's because he's in Canada.
I know.
So good job.
To reach out the way he thinks is the way it should be. Not necessarily the way that's most receptive to you, but the way that he thinks is the best way to reach out. But then you don't always reciprocate the way he's reaching out.
Right. And I understand that. But here's the way I've learned over the years. I think I learned this about 10 years ago. I really started learning this about 10 years ago. Stop reaching out to your adult children in the way you think is the right way to reach out to your children. Reach out to your children the way you think they would like you to reach out to them.
Or ask them.
That's kind of my point.
Yeah.
It's like, sending a link to a post on Facebook through Facebook Messenger about a Facebook post just goes, Facebook is Facebook.
Yeah.
And if anybody knows what Facebook is, it's full of misinformation and a lot of trash.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to read an article on Facebook and get heartfelt about it. It's just not, it's full of absolute garbage.
Right.
Most of the Facebook communities it really, really is. But there is a disconnect between that generation and Facebook is everything.
Right.
Right. So my response is always, I like it. Thank you. Or is there anything, I have asked the question after a while ago, is there anything outside of Facebook that, says this? And they go, and he responds with, well, it's part of this society. I was like, well, it's this society on Facebook. Like, I don't.
But do you have that same, like, impending feeling of, I need to know this person, like you feel for the grandkids and the kids? Like, I don't know my dad anymore. Like, do you have that feeling of, I don't know how much longer I have to get to know him on any level? Do you feel that way?
I feel impending, like I wish I had a better relationship with my dad, for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the I'm not as old as my father.
Right.
And I have less grandkids than my father.
Right.
But I feel like culturally every generation needs to put in more work than their predecessor.
Yeah.
So do I wish he would have put in more work? I don't know. Because if he put in more work, would I be putting in more work? I don't know.
Right.
So it may have screwed that all up. I may not put in the work because I already had all that, So I never want to go back and go, I wish my father did something different.
Yeah.
What I'm looking at is, yes, absolutely. Like, losing my dad's going to be like probably one of the worst things that will ever occur in my life. Fact, unless it's like a sibling or a child. But on that end, I also have to go, I have learned to ask the question of my kids, how do you want me to, and I think I said this years ago to them, but not recently because we've worked it out. how do you want me? How present do you want me to be in your life?
Right.
How do you want me to reach out to? Is a FaceTime call good? Setting up a Zoom call? Is it a text here and there? It's like, let me know and I will adjust to that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a direct adaptation of knowing that my father really screwed that up, because the only time you're going to hear from my dad is through a Facebook post of something else sent to me and then sent out to my significant other, a message about visiting and those types of things. He's been doing that probably for, I'm 50, so probably 25 years.
Yeah.
So I was like, I am by far not the same person I was at 25.
Right.
So meet me where I'm at 50. Meet me as a person where I'm at now,
Yeah.
instead of who I was as a teenager or a young adult. And I think that's something that
Have you ever had that conversation with him?
For sure. I really feel like I have. I was like, I'm 50. I'm not.
Wait, so you feel like you have, or you have had
I think it was
conversation?
When was the last time we had a verbal conversation with the man? Was
3 years ago.
3 on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
That's the, so there was no real physical. There was a Zoom. It was a
But so do you
dialogue
feel
there.
like that's a conversation that needs to be had?
Yes, absolutely. But you have to understand. Not you have to understand. We have to understand that a Facebook Messenger video call that you have every 3 years, is that the time to bring that stuff up?
No.
No. So when does that? If you have a regular conversation with human beings, those conversations come up. But if you don't have a regular conversation with these certain human beings, you're not going to have, you don't have the door or the capacity. I mean, you're catching up on what's this grandkid doing? You're doing all this stuff. It's like, all right, nice to see you. Let's do it again. 3 years go by. You're not going to unpack 50 years of my life in a messenger call that you have every 3 years.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. So you have to put in the work first. Like, meet me where I'm at. I don't even know where you're at. Let me know.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
How's that interesting?
So
Could you have that conversation with your father?
about meet me where I'm at?
Yeah.
No, because I feel like me and my dad meet each other where we're at. I know. I don't want the relationship that I have with my mom to be the same one that I have with my dad.
Never.
Like I'm okay with the relationship that I have with my dad. I'm okay with seeing him when I see him and having the phone calls that we have, and they're like 15, 20 minutes, and we talk about life and we move on. That to me that's what we have, and I like our relationship. Has it always been where it's at? No. It's probably the best it's ever been right now.
Right.
So I'm okay with that. I don't know if I only talk to him every 3 years, if I'd be okay with that, because I would have to do more. Even if he didn't respond, I would still have to, me being who I am, I'd have to make the effort to call him more frequently, to fly in to see him more often. Because he's been in California multiple times and never stopped to see us. It is what it is. But I wouldn't go to.
That doesn't bother you at all?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it used to. Right now, I'm just like,
okay, but let's.
Here's the thing: California's big.
Okay, but
it's
let's
not even in Sacramento.
Let's unpack something here.
Okay.
Like, the relationship that I've learned to have over the last decade with Ariel and Bailey, my older daughters, is they can look at me and go, "Nah, that was total crap. You did this and you wasn't." I was like, "Yeah, that was totally me." You have these underlying things that you have issues with: dishonesty. You have covering up stuff, people not knowing who's related to who.
Yeah.
All those things. Is that okay? Do you have that relationship with your father to where you could sit down and discuss that?
No.
Okay. So you're saying it's okay then?
Yes.
Don't you think that's a I'm saying I have that problem with that same type of issue with my father. I'd love to unpack that.
Okay. Then you
Okay.
should.
Well,
Right?
why is it one-sided? Your relationship with your dad's fine and you love it the way it is. I feel like that's kind of a broad brush of,
because I'm not saying that I want to make it different. You want to make your relationship different. Like, you want to ask questions and know all these things. I don't.
why?
I don't
Why,
want
though?
to.
Why?
I just don't.
Okay. So you're definitely somewhere in between.
A bucket list and a midlife crisis?
Yeah. Because you don't want to cross stuff off your list. You don't.
That's not true. That conversation isn't on my list, so there's nothing to cross off. Seeing my dad in person is on my bucket list.
That's the beginnings of it.
Right, but I don't have.
Then after a while,
the
you
need.
might want to need to unpack
Maybe,
that.
but I'm not.
It
But
might make you a better person.
I'm a great person. Maybe.
I agree with that.
But again,
everybody can
you
be
can't.
better.
But again, we're not comparing relationships,
Oh,
right?
we're-
Like, I don't have that side of my dad that I need to know. If I need to know anything about my dad's history, I'm gonna ask his sister because I know she'll give me the truth. I don't need to have that with my dad. I don't.
You don't feel the need to have that with your dad at this moment in your life.
Right. So I don't. Like,
Right.
to me, the important things about my relationship with my dad is to see him, to give him a hug, to talk about the kids,
Right.
to laugh and talk about sports.
Yes.
That's it.
Correct.
That is the relationship that I want. And that's the one that I choose to have.
Yeah.
If I wanted something different and then I couldn't get that, that's something I'd have to work through.
That makes sense.
But I don't. I mean, it took me a long time to get here. So I'm grateful and thankful for where we're at right now. And if there's anything, if I want to see my dad and he's like, I don't want to see you, I'd be like, we're going to have a conversation about that because that's not okay. I don't understand what you're just saying right now. That part I wouldn't be okay with.
Right.
I don't get people not wanting to see me. I'm wonderful. I don't understand that concept. So if he said that, when people don't want to see me, it confuses me. My aunt Deborah and Uncle Bert were like, we're not having anybody over. I'm like, I'm not anybody. I'm Sarah. What do you mean you're not having anybody over? That part confused me. And I did ask because that's a relationship that I find like very important to me. And I did say, well, why not? Why can't I come over? Like, it's an important relationship. And if they couldn't see me, I'd be like, I don't understand. But I'm not there with my dad. He still wants to see me, which is nice. If he didn't, that's a whole conversation. Why'd you go quiet?
I was trying to listen because you wanted me to unpack my relationship. Is like, that'd be nice if you unpacked yours once.
Well,
in a while.
yours was different. My question was, because you're the old guy. The question was.
Mhm.
No, I'm just kidding.
Age has nothing to do with it.
Okay, but the reason I brought it up is because when you turn 50, it's when your thought process, your verbal thought process changed, and I thought that was interesting. You started saying
It wasn't
things that
age.
Okay, again, it was literally you said, "Man, I just turned 50." And blah, 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 blah. So I would only think it's about age because that's the words that you
But
said.
I also have stated on here, and you can go back to past episodes. I didn't think I was going to live to 30,
Right.
right? And I already had 2 kids. I still didn't think I was going to make it to 30. Just my life.
Right.
And now I'm hitting like a 40 benchmark, a 50, and I'm like, holy cow, I'm still here. I would like to do the things that I didn't get to do before 30. That it was kind of one of those things that I don't think it's a midlife crisis thing. It's more of like, maybe I should figure out how to actually be a good dad. Maybe I should actually figure out how to be a good husband. Maybe I should figure out how to be a good grandfather instead of just like winging it. I'm not
Right.
going to make it till 30.
Yeah.
You know, that was kind of my attitude. I was like, we got this, you know? So I think that was, you know, more of my comprehension of that. So I don't think it wasn't even the encompassment of, that's a word, right? A 50th. Whoa. A 50th thing. It was more of having everybody that's super important in my life in one house all at the same time.
Yeah.
That was insane to me.
Most people.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everybody else has actually been under this roof at the, you know, at multiple times, but I was like, to have that dynamic happening, I don't think it was. So yeah, the 50 obviously went there, but I was like, that is a number, but that's a lot of years to be here and then go, I'm good. That's insane. That means I've got to this point, and this was amazing, and I got to this number. We're still here. Let's do some more stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, I think, is where the relationship with, let's just say, the understanding between me and your father align. Because I don't think he's ever stopped wanting to learn something or having a strong opinion about something or trying something different.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? But yet we know direct relatives of the same human being that have been stuck in the same thing for over 20 years, and they're okay with that.
Yeah.
Not learning anything new, just
Oh, can't say that.
repeating it over and over.
Can't say that.
Nobody in your life and your relatives, that's how they live. Nobody.
Mm-mm.
She's lying.
I'm not.
Yet she says she's a great person. Why wouldn't you want to hang out with her? But she's lying
I
right
am
now.
wonderful.
You
I'm
are
the
wonderful,
funnest
but right
person
now
I
you're
know.
lying.
Anyways.
There are people in your life that are repeating their life every single day, and they're okay with that. I'm not
Yes.
saying it as a bad thing. What I'm saying is it's just not who I am.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not who your dad is,
I agree.
you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, good conversation.
Was it a conversation? Did
Yes.
we pack anything?
We didn't advise anything, but it was a good conversation. I feel like I am happy with the topic.
Here's mine: is age is relatives. Like, the difference between you and I is very different. You had grandparents growing up.
You say that, but
Hold on, they were present, not grandparents like they were like sat on your knee and that kind of stuff. But you had some grandparents. You did.
we all
Okay,
had
but-
grandparents.
That you knew.
Yes.
Okay. But you also, I mean, if you would let me finish, these things are actually really good.
Fine.
Okay. But on the flip side, you lost a parent young you did.
Yes.
Okay. So the experience when it comes to parent-child relationships is so different between you and I.
Yes.
Right? So that's all I'm saying. So if we're not going to have these discussions and learn from each other, then we're losing.
I'm going to say this because I never understand when you say it because you've said it multiple times. I had my parents' parents were alive, but that doesn't make them grandparents. That makes them my parents' parents.
Right.
Your parents' parents were also alive.
One,
Your dad's mom.
that was it.
But they were alive. I mean, they didn't all die before you were born.
Two of them did before I was born.
Right.
And then the
to
other.
me, it's like having an absent parent. Just
No,
because
I had three grandparents that were gone. All of them before I was born, and then the third one like before I was like 6.
right. What I'm
And
saying
they all
is
lived in like one
nowhere
lived in
you
a
were
different
around.
country.
I know. But what I'm saying is my grandparents didn't live in a different country. They lived here and I still didn't see them. But like I literally saw Valerie's grandparents more than I've seen my own. Right? So it's like
Right.
just because they're alive doesn't mean I had that grandparent relationship. Our kids were very lucky to have a grandparent actual relationship with their grandparents.
Let's look at it this way. It's just different because your parents had a parent.
We can't say that either.
They had, okay. So I don't know what you want to unpack here. I'm literally trying to say all I'm trying to say. Here's my frustration coming through.
Okay.
All I'm trying to say is our childhood, our adulthood, young adulthood, and our adulthood is different
Yes.
when it comes to the dynamic. Maybe I got too specific.
You went too deep.
Yeah, and you got defensive.
If you just said parent dynamic, I would have left it.
Okay.
Don't go grandparents.
I was
Didn't
just trying to
have those.
say specifics so that people would understand the difference.
Just
Well,
go
we'll just
parents.
say, yo, it was different, yo, so we're just different.
Okay, he's done. So the parent dynamic was different, but my grandparents were not grandparents. It's not like they're not like my parents who checked up on the kids and saw how everybody was.
But were they parents to their kids?
No, my dad's mom didn't even raise him. She gave him to her mom, who like beat my dad daily. Like, no, my dad's parents did not raise him.
But
My
the mom's
mom did, and then her dad died very young. So my mom had her mom, but my mom was also helping raising her siblings because there were so many of them, and she was on the older side of the group, not the younger side.
Right.
So I'm like, that really?
But I've seen your grandparents more than I've ever seen my grandparents in my life.
Well, yours are not alive.
I'm just saying even if they were alive. Okay,
they're
now
not-
we're flipping this. Like, just because they're alive doesn't mean you see them and say hi to them and they're around. But I've seen your grandparents 10 times more than my grandparents.
Right.
That's all I'm saying is I've seen them and I've only been around for 10, 11 years.
But you've also seen my parents more than you've seen your parents.
Yes.
But that's a choice. When it comes to people who are alive, that's a choice that we've made in the last 10 years of being together of who we're going to go see.
Your parents, one that has passed, has been to my house 50 times more than my parents.
Right.
And your father has been to my house at least.
My dad's never been here.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
When? My dad's never been to our house.
Yes, he has. He's been here at least twice. He met Cosmo multiple times at that
Oh,
front
you're right.
door.
He did meet Kazi.
Okay.
So twice.
Okay, which is twice as many times as my dad's been in this house.
That's not true. Your dad's been to our house like 4 times.
Been here like once.
No, he has not. No, he has not. Anyways, we're off topic.
I was like, well, we really got to unpack it. I was like, I was just trying to show the comparison of our childhood relationship between our parents was different completely.
Yes.
And our childhood relationship with our grandparents was completely different. And growing up. And our parents' relationship with their parents was completely different.
But do you know your parents' relationship with their parents?
No.
So how do you know they're different? That's my question. How do you know they're different?
Because my grandparents were dead.
But they weren't. They were dead your whole life, not your
50
parents.
years.
My grandpa's been dead since my mom was like 20.
Right.
Right. So I'm like, how do you know that they had different relationships?
I have no idea because I don't know.
Never asked.
You guys don't even talk about that stuff.
No, don't bring it back on us. I'm saying you don't have no idea how your parents' relationships were. I
Oh,
know
that's
how
for
my
sure.
parents' relationships were with their parents. That I do know.
Yeah. My dad's unpacked some stuff with his dad to me and about his mom. But my mom, nuh-uh.
Because I bet you, if you asked your mom, I bet you her relationship with her parents is very similar to my dad and my mom and his mom and his dad, wasn't his dad.
How would you know that? Because you met my mom once.
I'm just talking generation wise. It's one of those things of like, if you didn't know your parents in that generation, it's probably because they were raised by their grandparent because their parent wasn't raising them. It was a weird time where like the parents would like, here's parent, here's my kid, because the parent knew better. And they were terrible. They did not know better. They were awful. Awful people. Oof.
Wow, you're putting a whole generation as awful people.
I bet right now you go find. Okay, I am gonna go like Southern. You go find a Southern grandma who's in her 90s and ask if her grandma was a good person, was nice and kind and caring, and
Right.
didn't beat them. They were terrible because they lived through so much crap that they didn't know how else to be. It's a mean group of people right there. I mean, from what I know. Anyways, thanks guys for staying on.
I don't think people really want to listen to this stuff.
I think it's history and it's interesting. That's all.
As long as it stays history,
I mean, that's the goal.
right? Learn from it, move forward. and I've said this before, and I don't mean it verbatim ever, but it sparked something in me years ago when I heard somebody say, and I don't even know who to give it credit to. It was something I read on something or something. That's like, if you don't have a relationship with your adult children, that's your fault.
It's true.
That sparked something in me going, and it's not saying it is all your fault. The other person could be a total
Right.
waste of
But if you're not even
human
trying,
error. But if you're not doing your part
Right.
to own the crap that you did,
Yeah.
then that's on you, bro.
it's true.
All right.
I
So
liked it.
check in with people, I guess. I don't know where we're at. I don't even know what this advisement even was.
It was
But
a good conversation.
so here at the end, we will end with the giveaway question is,
yes,
and I've given you clues.
we gave him half the answer.
Did I?
Yes,
Are you sure?
yes, I was here.
Name all the people that were in episode 28.
Yes,
All of them. That includes us. If you don't know our name, well, then you clicked the wrong link. I don't know what is it. It's Ernie.
Bert.
This is Bert. But name all the people. There were 6.
Yeah.
People in there in episode 28. We did not introduce them on the show. So you're going to have to actually know. Or you can ask us. If you actually text us or messaged us, just don't put it in here in the chat.
Not saying.
Don't put it in the chat. But you can put it in the comments underneath the YouTube video.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, dog's getting up. All right.
Dog's
that's
here.
it.
And
See you later.
yeah, we'll do this again sometime.
Next week. Same bat time.
No, not even close. Just stop that. So there's realistically, there's a little bell on the YouTubes. Subscribe to the channel and actually click that bell and it will give you alerts. Okay. It's the only way we can tell you. We put it on our social media.
Oh yeah, follow
Like
there.
the day of. If you know anything about social media, it's at Sarah and Scooter on Instagram. Facebook is just us. We're pretty.
We don't have a Sarah and Scooter.
No,
Oh
that's Facebook. You know my
Says how
opinion
much I
about
know.
Facebook. I know.
yeah.
Sarah and Scooter, Instagram. We do have all the other ones too, but Instagram is easiest and most fun.
Yeah.
So we will see you very soon. Next week we will be here. So, and Urel, if you're still watching, I'm reaching out to you very, very soon. All right. We got some stuff going on. All right. Talk to you soon.
Adios. Con leche.
That's crazy.
I loved it. Bye.